on advantage coming up at the weigh-in. Will they lose the 150 pounds? Or will the infamous Week 2 curse send 2 contestants home?
Is it 2 curse? Oh my gosh, what are we in for?
Hello and welcome back to the Creation Motivation channel. Today we are talking about Biggest Loser Season 8, Part 2 of Episode 2. We're continuing our blog podcast series where we talk about, motivating, inspiring TV shows and things that are not so inspiring, things that are extreme or toxic or bad for you that hold you back on your weight loss journey. I myself really believe in slow and steady. Wins the race is positivity, self-determination, confidence, all of that good stuff. Whereas this show, it kind of goes back and forth. Sometimes it's very motivating and the things that teach these contestants how to have lifelong lasting results, but other things are just so extreme and they will lead to burnout. You can't keep that lifestyle for long term. But anyways, we're jumping into this. This is the second part of the episode where all of the contestants have come together and we're told that if they lose 150 pounds this week, that they will all have immunity basically and no one will get voted off. And I am just really loving this idea. I love this team challenge effort style for Biggest Loser. And I kind of wish they did this way more often or made it the sole part of the show. So they do this challenge where they have to cross these beams and they will get more weight off of that 150 pound total. They already earned 15 pounds off in the last part that I talked about a little bit. And in this one, they have the chance to get an additional 20 pounds off. I was nervous, but they do manage to get all of the goals, which was shocking because these beams are wiggly and wobbly and just I can't even imagine crossing these things without falling over because my balance, it's hit or miss. On my right side, I'm definitely more balanced. My left side, not so much. And just trying to balance sometimes for me, it's a mental game. If you really focus, for me, focus is the key part of it. If I'm not paying attention, I'll definitely fall when I'm trying to do something. So I was just really happy for them that they hit that because now they only have to lose about 115 pounds instead of that 150. And they're all kind of celebrating. And Bob and Jill come in, the trainers.
Hey everyone. Bob and Jillian walk in and we were just discussing with them all the challenges and things that had happened during the week that told them we had a 35-pound advantage.
We had to lose 115 pounds.
We're down to 115 for a group.
That's great, but you still have 115 pounds to lose, and that's going to be really challenging for week 2. You've seen the show.
And they tell them about this celebration they're having and what they did, and they're just really negative about it. And I guess, well, it's because in past seasons, if you watch the past seasons, definitely check them out. The second week weigh-in has been notorious for being the bad weigh-in, for being the weigh-in where people actually gain weight or they just severely drop their number of pounds. So the first week they lose 20 pounds and then the next week they lose only 5 pounds or 4 pounds, which actually is very normal, I think. The body is going through a big change and after a big drop, the metabolism goes kind of wonky and your body's just trying to adjust. And this doesn't just happen the second week. Everyone's different, right? Everyone has their body and how it works and its hormones and everything like that. For me, I will have whoosh weeks and you can look it up online. They're called the big whoosh. They're just weeks where you have a drop in weight finally. And then I'll have a couple weeks or maybe 1 week where the weight will stall or it'll just be way less. So instead of losing, 3 pounds, you only lose 1 pound or you just maintain. And it's very, very frustrating because you're kind of just doing the same thing you do every week when you're losing weight. But then you get to that stall and it's really disheartening and you just want to give up. But it happens in the show too. You'll see that people will be working so hard, doing their best, and the scale will stall. And that whole week you've seen that they're pushing to the max, they're working out, eating right, and then their weight will stall. Now, let me clarify, there are times where I pretty sure some of these contestants are definitely cheating. They're definitely overeating or hiding eating or sneak eating. Sneak eating does happen more often than we think. It's a mental battle, a mental game. You have to fight yourself on it. But we don't know for sure because they obviously don't say that they sneak eat. They don't discover it. It's very well hidden. But in some rare instances, people are overeating, and that's why they will have a stall on the scale. But for the most part, your body kind of fluctuates and goes up and down, and it gets used to this extreme dieting or gets used to your new routine and has to adjust because over time, that's just how it happens. Anyways, I'm rambling again, but Bob and Jill were negative and they were freaking out about this second week because people get stuck and they're thinking they're not even going to hit 115 pounds total because maybe people are going to gain weight and they just have no trust in them. Maybe a little bit, but they're just afraid because, you know, the track record shows it. The contestants are still pretty hopeful. They're pretty motivated. And I just really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed this episode because they were working together. They were happy. They were smiling. They were a community. There was that little tiff with Julio because he wasn't putting his part in, but he's still kind of learning and adjusting as well. And I really enjoyed that they were coming together and they were working together instead of fighting against each other. There was less drama. There was less stress, and it just felt lighter. So we're going to go towards the end of the episode. They had their last chance workout.
Workout, guys. I want Julio only.
Come here for one quick second. Between you and me,
Uh-huh.
the legs are dead.
Yep.
I'm just letting you know.
Okay, they're going to be.
I thought it was motivating when they worked with Rudy with the rope. They were pulling the heavy ropes. Jillian held the other side and was doing tug of war with him. And, you know, he's really strong. He easily kind of pulled her over. So Bob jumps on. And they both do this tug of war with him. And I just thought that was great. It just motivated me. Bob mentioned that he wants people to find strength from their emotions and past and history. So a lot of the times we basically hold on to our past and things that were uncomfortable for us or embarrassing or irritating or sad. We tend to let that take over our personality and tend to let that take over us mentally. And we tend to just become a victim, I guess is what Bob's kind of getting at. And instead of doing that, instead of coming from this woe of me, oh, woe is me personality, we use that as strength to power us today and use that to push us forward. At the end of the episode, they do weigh in. And it was just so inspiring because they all did so good. They all lost killer numbers in this second week, in this dreaded second week. They all lost so much weight. And it put a smile on my face because it's just proven that when you work together and you're positive and you have some people on your side, community works. It really works. It's a really good tool to help you move forward, to help you reach your goals. I mean, you can focus on yourself and cheer yourself on as much as you can because you have to do that because you're not always going to have people there. But when you do have someone on your side, it's just so amazing and it really pushes you forward. And it really shows in this episode. Like Bob and Jillian had no hope in them. And in previous seasons, I believe these second week stalls were because there was so much pressure on them. And after the first week, they were learning how it worked, but their bodies were adapting. And also they were being given more stress because each week you sort of add more stress as time goes on, more workouts, harder workouts, tighten up the diet and everything like that. And I really think the stress just gets to you. And that second week, it just stalls a little bit or just slows down because you're just taking a breather, getting used to this new routine, right? But this one was just great. They really, I think they had determination because of this common goal, this community goal to have everyone stay there. It was this positive goal that they could all link together on and push forward. And it really brought out the best in them. Whereas the normal way that they go about it is they each are focusing on themselves only and they have to work really hard to lose as much as possible. Otherwise, they have this negative risk of being voted out. And so that's why I think this one came out so well, because it was just so positive. It was so positive, and I really wish the show kind of was more based on this. I wish it was more positive, and I wish it was more team effort instead of just voting off one by one. And I don't know how that structure would work, especially in a reality show. Reality TV focuses so much on drama, and they always kind of have this vote out system. So I don't know how switching to a community effort would apply. I don't know if it would even work. So that's probably why they didn't continue doing it that way. But yes, also one last note. Julio, who no one really believed in, lost 19 pounds, and he didn't even need to because they had reached their goal before him. But he lost 19 pounds, and that was just so awesome to see that he's finally getting into the groove, and he wanted to show them that he's part of the team as well. And the orange team, Daniel's back from last season, they did really well as well, and they actually, their weight loss brought them to the 150 mark. So they didn't even need to win those challenges and everything else previously. They would have hit 150. So it just shows how important teamwork is, and positivity, and believing in yourself and your teammates, and having people believe in you as well. Yeah, I'm going to close that out here. I hope you're having a motivating day, a wonderful day. Do some baby steps, stay healthy, happy goal getting. Bye.